Matt Gaetz here with Congresswoman Marjorie Greene. We wanted to give everyone an update regarding our quest for the truth for those who are detained following arrests resulting from January 6th. So as the whole world knows, we went yesterday to the DC jail. We were called trespassers.
Trespassers. Members of Congress are called trespassers.
So after that, Congresswoman Greene, Paul Gosar, Louis Gohmert, myself, we sent a letter to the director of the DC Department of Corrections indicating that our experience there with these rude staff members really gave us even more cause for concern. Here's the key update. We have unconfirmed reports that just in the last 24 hours, conditions and circumstances may have changed for the January 6 detainees in the DC jail system, perhaps even as retribution because we showed up at the jail. And while we're still investigating and working to confirm those reports, we do have this statement from the DC Department of Corrections that says that just by showing up and attempting to have a tour, which members of Congress do all the time, we put people's safety in danger.
Unbelievable. No, we aren't the threat to anyone's safety, and now I have great concern not only for the January 6 detainees who are being held on misdemeanor charges, many of them. They're not allowed to be bailed out. We hear terrible stories that they're not allowed to talk to their attorneys, their families, that they're in solitary confinement. But now, if the rumors are true about this lockdown, I'm concerned about the entire prison population there. And if it's because we showed up as members of Congress have oversight over the federal prison system. I mean, we visit detention centers.
And think about it. If Donald Trump had retaliated against illegal aliens who were being detained because Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib showed up to inspect the facility, the Democrats would be wanting to refer him to the International Criminal Court for prosecution.
Absolutely.
I mean, and he
would never do that.
Right.
Oh no, President Trump would never do that. He took great care of people.
And we saw an attitude at the DC jail that seemed to be kind of retaliatory in nature. So look, we're going to try one of the ways.
Wait. Let's read this statement. What does it say, Matt?
So in part, the statement from the DC Department of Corrections says, today congressional officials, that would be us, arrived at the DC Department of Corrections Central Facility unannounced. That's false. We'd send a letter with an unauthorized camera crew. By the way, that was the media. If people think that you and I control where the media goes and where the camera crews go, that is just a fascinating...
We have no control over the media.
Yeah, I mean, they literally chase us down places. So we have no control over where the press chooses to go or not go, despite the letter. So by doing so, these officials compromise the safety and security operations at the DOC. I mean,
wait, hold on.
There's so much a mask. Look, the DC Department of Corrections could do what even Nancy Pelosi couldn't do. You put a mask on so as everybody could see that nobody was unsafe. We were willing to do whatever was necessary to take a tour. To go and so this notion that we were compromising safety.
Wait, hold on. Let's unpack this sentence. First off, they said that our visit was unannounced, which it was not. We let them know well ahead that we were coming to visit, and we had been sending letters asking questions about the facility, about the conditions, and everything about these detainees. They say it's an unauthorized camera crew, which is the media, and they have the freedom of press. So how is that unauthorized? They have their rights. And then also they said here that these officials, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Greene, Paul Gosar, Louis Gohmert, who's a judge, you're an attorney, compromise safety and security of the operations. That is a complete lie. A complete lie.
The only thing they asked us to do for safety was they wanted a path so that people could get in and out of the building, which we clearly accommodated.
Yes, of course we accommodated. We don't want to change the way they're functioning, but I will tell you, especially after seeing that detention center in California that was so clean. It was a beautiful facility. The people, the illegal aliens who broke laws in our country that are being detained there, they had, I mean, it was better than probably any VA, any nursing home. But that lobby of that prison really bothered me. It was filthy dirty. It was unorganized. It was not kept well. You could tell it needed painted. There was a lot there. And so I'm very concerned about the people inside. I really am.
Well, the bureaucrats always advertise their greatest weaknesses, right? And the kicker, the big tell is in the last sentence, where the DC Department of Corrections says, all visitors must adhere to the rules and procedures of the Department of Corrections. Here's the thing, they're the ones potentially departing from the procedures. That's the whole point of the visit, is to make sure that they are following the procedures. We appropriate the funds, so we have oversight to make sure that they actually follow the procedures.
That's right.
And here, they are projecting that somehow we aren't. Now, here's one thing we know, Marjorie. When conditions get bad at one of these facilities, they try to restrict communication, because that limits transparency.
Yeah.
And so I think we just ought to call them up.
Let's call them.
All right, well, let's call and see just like what is going on this is the facility that we visited. Okay. So we told them we were coming.
Right.
We came. Then they said we were unannounced. Let's see if they'll take our phone call.
Okay.
Hopefully this phone call won't jeopardize anyone's safety.
Right.
You know? Maybe you ought to leave him a message.
Hi, I'm calling for Mr. Quincy Booth. This is Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
And Congressman Matt Gaetz as well.
We're calling because we're concerned about the conditions there at the prison, and we stopped by yesterday to tour the facility, like we tour many facilities as being members of Congress. We saw your statement today saying that we were comprising safety and security of the operations there, which is completely false. And that's a terrible thing to say in your statement. We're members of Congress and we have oversight over your facility, considering that especially we vote for the funds there. And we'd like for you to reach back out to us. You've received a letter with information on how to correspond and call us back. So we're looking forward to hearing from you. And we have many questions that we would like answered.
And I mean, we've written you letters, we've shown up at your facilities, now we're calling you, and we must share with you that we're not going to stop asking these questions, and ultimately, you are going to be required to answer them. Well, you know, it's quite something that there seems to be more and more an effort to just conceal basic elements of the corrections process and the justice process. So we want all of our viewers to know we're going to keep fighting this issue. We definitely want to thank Louis Gohmert and Paul Gosar for standing with us. And we would encourage our fellow Republicans in Congress to really focus on these deprivations of civil rights and personal freedoms, and to ensure that we have a country we can all be proud of.
Yeah, and hey guys, you know I always tell you, pick up the phone and make a call to your representative, whoever it may be, Republican or Democrat. Let them know how you feel, because you're the people, you're the taxpayers, and this government should be working for you. So remind them of that. Thanks so much. Share this video, get the news out, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Marjorie.
Yeah, thank you.